Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. I am your trusted source for hard-hitting conservative news. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. And today, we'll dive deep into the heart of America, the pulse that beats with tradition, values, and unwavering patriotism. As we gather around the digital hearth, let's remember that our nation's strength lies not in the marble halls of Washington, but in the hearts of everyday heroes. From the farmer tilling his soil to the nurses working the night shift. They are the backbone of this great land. Now let's talk about endorsements. You know, there's a buzz in the political air, a whisper that echoes across the amber waves. It's the sound of former President Donald Trump lending his support to candidates who embrace liberty, the Constitution, and the pursuit of happiness. Love him or loathe him, his endorsements carry weight. It's like a stamp of approval from the founding fathers themselves. And speaking of endorsements, let's address the elephant in the room, the one with a donkey painted on its side. Yes, I'm talking about Joe Biden. His race-baiting rhetoric divides us more than a game of Red Rover. But remember, my friends, we're not color-coded tribes. We're Americans. Our unity lies in shared dreams, not skin tones. Now let's pivot into the Democrats and their dance with illegal voting. They say it's about fairness, but fairness isn't found in the ballot boxes stuffed with phantom votes. It's found in the eyes of veterans who fought for our freedom, the same freedoms that allow us to question, to challenge, and to seek the truth. You know, we just celebrated Memorial Day, not just for the barbecues and sales, but to honor those who gave their last full measure. The soldiers who kissed their families goodbye, the sailors who faced tempest, the airmen who soared through the skies. They are etched in our history, their sacrifice woven into our flag's fabric. So, my fellow conservatives, let's raise our voices, not in anger, but in love for this land. Let's debate, discuss, and dissect. Let's be the torchbearers of liberty, lighting the path for generations yet unborn. So stay tuned, because in this podcast, I don't just report the news, I ignite the flame of truth. Buckle up, Patriots. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's get on with the show. I hope you guys had a great Wednesday. Now it's time for me to ask you to check out my Rumble page at the Country Conservative. Don't forget to follow me. That's very important. Give me that thumbs up because that helps my channel grow. Also, check out my Wimpkin page. And let me do this here. You guys want to? You can check out all my pages and stuff that we run to, because we are streaming for Facebook, 2 YouTube channels, unfortunately. X, Rumble, of course, is my main page, and Wimpkin. I love my Wimpkin page. If you guys check it out, follow me, share, like, everything that you can do on these channels. You got a pencil, you can write them down. I'll leave it up there for a little bit. But the more you guys like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, I definitely get my reach out a little bit further. And check out my videos. I haven't done any short videos for a while. But just watch them, even these live streams. Share them with your friends, your family, even these liberal idiots out there. They're the ones that need it the most. They need to wake up and see how corrupt the Democrat Party and Joe Biden is. Come November 5th general election, we've got to get this thing turned around. And there's no way around it. We have to do it. Now, right before the show tonight, I was watching Dan Bongino. I don't know if you guys got to watch him or not. He interviewed Donald Trump after this long-ass day waiting for the jury to come back, and they never did. And they come back and they ask for more testimony paper pages to be read to them. There's like 30 pages for the National Enquirer witness. What the hell would you be listening to a tabloid idiot for like that? And they wanted to hear Cohen's testimony. Convicted liar. Why the hell would you want to listen to him? But Dan Bongino had Trump on. I had to listen to it. And Trump made a few good points. Of course, he's gagged, so he can't watch everything or talk about anything about these idiot judge and all them and his idiot daughter that's making a ton of money off of this trial. But we can. We're not gagged. They could kiss my ass. But Trump made some points about Biden and his administration are behind all of this, behind everything that's the persecutions of Trump. They are behind it all. And he's not saying it. Dan brought it up because Trump's not allowed to say any of this stuff. But now he knows from his first 4 years in office, he knows what staff is shitty and who sucks, who's smart and who's not, and who he's not going to have and who he's going to get rid of. He's already got it in his head. And the foreign policy that Joe Biden is allowing Iran to get a nuclear missile under Joe Biden's weakness. Trump knows that's happening. And we all do. Because of the piece of shit administration and everything that they did of Trump's and they got rid of. And all these countries and all of our enemies have taken advantage of this. And this is the stuff that we've got to stop. Now, let me get a few things going here. And before we start off, I can't watch a lot of comments in here. I can't watch them all at once. And I'm going to sit there and try the best I can to watch all these. I got Wimpkin over here. I got Rumble down here. I've got to bring up all the other ones here and get them going and make sure the volume's not on. So it looks like that one might be going. That's Facebook, it looks like. Let me go over here. There we go. All right. There's Facebook on there, and don't get the live comments on there, but some of these should show up in here. But when I'm on, there we go. There's one right there. And I'm trying to get everything going here, but Brendan usually watches the chats for me, and he's out of camp today. He's taking a little break today, but I'm going to push on here. We're going to get you. And if you guys leave a comment in chat, I don't get to you for a little bit. Sorry about that, but I will get to you. Don't worry about it. I will keep looking, and we'll get to it. But I also want to get to these stories that I got to you today, because as you all know, that Trump's jury is now, I don't know how they're contemplating all this, but it should have came back right away and said, just throw this out, because they do not have any crime. They did not bring a crime up at all yet. And yet they're still debating all this stuff, and I don't know how they're doing it or anything like that, but we're going to see what's going to happen here. Let me try this again. I got one more place here. I didn't get to X yet. Now I'm going to get started off with Trump's closing arguments. They all wrapped up last night. And from what I'm reading and seeing, the prosecution has no case whatsoever. All the top legal minds are saying it. Even a Trump hater, and not a hater, but he's no fan of Trump, and that's Alan Dershowitz. He's even saying they have nothing. He's a professor of law at Harvard, and he's saying they have nothing. And it just makes no sense that these guys are still debating on this thing. They should have just came back and said, forget this. This is no good. But there's one there's one juror that they seem to say that is favoring Trump, which that's a good thing. So, because if he or she, whoever it is, stands its ground and sticks with the truth, then they'll be deadlocked and they'll declare a mistrial. That's what we'd like to see. Well, we would like to see a total acquittal, but in New York, hell no, that's not going to happen. Trump's not going to get a fair trial. You guys think he is? Leave me a comment in chat. I'm going to move this around a little bit so I can see now. There we go. That's a little better. But I got a video here for you. Now, this is a very important video, and it's a little bit long, but you've got to watch this. This is a very important one. That's what you expect out of this now that the jury's out. Take a look at this.
That's right, Natasha. The jury's attention span put to the test today. They were in court, as you mentioned, for 11 hours, a marathon session. The defense was up first, going after star witness Michael Cohen, calling him the MVP of liars. When prosecutors got a turn, they took it for nearly 5 hours, explaining why they believe Trump intended to defraud American voters by hiding an alleged affair with a porn star.
This is a dark day in America. We have a rigged court case that should have never been brought.
Former President Trump portraying a defensive demeanor just before listening to closing arguments in his historic criminal trial. The jury must decide whether Trump falsified business records to cover up a hush money payment to a porn star ahead of the 2016 election. Trump's defense team taking nearly 3 hours to try to sow a seed of doubt in the jury. Attorney Todd Blanche zeroing in on the prosecutor's key witness, Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, calling him, quote, the greatest liar of all time. Cohen testified Trump directed him to pay off adult film star Stormy Daniels in exchange for her silence about an alleged affair.
Michael Cohen is the embodiment of reasonable doubt.
Trump's legal team arguing Cohen acted independently and Trump only paid Cohen for legitimate legal expenses. Blanche also arguing Daniels' testimony was a ploy to embarrass the former president, even suggesting she tried to extort Trump. When prosecutors got their turn, they took nearly 5 hours. Attorney Joshua Steinglass reviewing 5 weeks of evidence he says proves Trump broke the law. Steinglass telling the jury Trump tried to, quote, hoodwink the American voter. He told the jury they didn't have to believe only Michael Cohen, that other witnesses and evidence back up his testimony. Steinglass, referring to Trump, said the defendant didn't actually pay a lawyer. He paid a porn star by funneling money through a lawyer. Well, the judge will instruct the jury tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock how they will decide on those 34 charges before they begin deliberations. Charging the jury, we're told, can take about an hour, and then Donald Trump's fate shifts into the jury's hands.
All right, thanks, Sharon.
They also asked for the instructions again from the judge, and I don't believe any of this got done because they were dismissed around 6 o'clock tonight. They'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30. If they come back with a decision, I will be going live as long as I'm home. I got to leave at 11 o'clock, so we'll see what happens. But what do you guys think? Michael Cohen, convicted liar, a failed porn star. How does that happen? How do you become a failed porn star? You don't even have to be talented to be a porn star. Now, if you ever watched one, I'm not saying I did, but if you ever watched one, they're lousy. You know, they're supposed to be fooling around, but then you see them up there looking at the camera going, oh, well, I better do something, better make some noise. She can't even be that good. She's a failed porn star, but she still owes Trump $560,000 that she has yet to pay, and she says she's refusing to pay it. And I have a short video of Stormy Daniels and the manager putting out an official letter. This was back in 2018, that denying this whole thing. Take a look at this.
Now, yesterday, Stormy Daniels' publicist put out a statement from Stormy Daniels, and let me just read what it said. Quote, the fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid hush money, as has been reported in overseas-owned tabloids. I am denying this affair because it never happened.
Did you sign this letter that was released today?
I don't know, did I?
Wait a minute, that you can
But
say,
that does
right?
not look like my signature, does it?
It doesn't look like your signature. So you're saying perhaps this letter was written and released without your approval. Do you know where it came from? Do you have any idea?
I do not know where.
You do not know where it came from.
Now, she's not denying it, but this bitch is an actress. Not a good one. No porn star is. And her story keeps changing. She keeps making tons of money off this alleged affair that she keeps claiming. She still owes Trump money. And you're supposed to believe what she says? Get the hell out of here. Let me know what you guys think in chat. You guys think that she's a liar just like Cohen is? I do. And you know what? I really don't care what people think other than you guys that are watching. And if you're a liberal, I don't care what you think. All right, Tammy. Now, according to Trump, he called the prosecution's closing arguments boring and a filibuster. Now, the prosecution never did prove an underlying crime. Some things of hours of closing arguments, it won't change it. The government not only must have proof, but they must prove the 34 deceptive payments were recorded inaccurately, but yet they were done in order to mask an underlying crime, which there is no crime. Paying hush money in New York is not a crime. So why would anybody have to hide anything by falsifying documents? They don't have to. So why would he falsify documents? That idiot Cohen billed Trump for attorney fees. Trump paid the attorney fees, period. No doubt. But the prosecution did not show a crime. So how's the jury supposed to come back with a guilty fee when they don't even know what the crime is? So there's no proof. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this brings us to an article with Trump facing all these felony charges in New York. Clinton-based campaign only faced fines for its record issues, and this comes from Just the News. Now, this next video is about a minute and 35 seconds long. It's a former Trump attorney talking about this New York case and what he thinks about it and what he thinks is going to happen. So take a look at this.
Would you be surprised if the former president isn't charged with something here?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that this is a case where you have to evaluate every case based on what are the facts in the law and is it something that's provable. But then there's also all of the other atmospherics of is this something that from a discretion point of view, is this something where a prosecution makes sense? Is it something where it is a slam dunk case where some of these things could be interpreted a few different ways? And also, when it comes to a specific issue like this, where we are talking about potentially national defense information, is it the type of thing where they want to declassify these things if they haven't already been declassified and put them out publicly? There are a lot of additional problems or procedures that you have to go through with that type of a case, and especially when it's politically sensitive, and I know not a lot of people are going to agree with this parallel, but to me, even if he did a lot of the things that they're saying that he did, prosecuting him, there are the same reasons why you wouldn't want to prosecute him as to why back in 2016 I was of the opinion that Hillary Clinton shouldn't be prosecuted, because there are all of these other problems. You have to, classification is not binding on the jury. Yeah. You have to actually take these documents, show them to the jury, and then prove to them that it constitutes national defense information. In doing so, you're putting
declassified things.
Exactly.
Now, don't you guys think this is select prosecution? Because following the 2016 election, which you heard, the FEC determined that Clinton campaign incorrectly recorded opposition's the research as legal expenses. but was only hit with an administrative fine. This goes to show you that there's two tiers of justice in this country. And I don't give a shit what these Democrats say. There's only one set of rules or laws in this country, and that's for them. That's the only laws for them, not for us. Or if you're a Republican, you're a conservative like this, like we are, there's different laws for us. So I don't care what damn Democrats say. But Hillary Clinton's New York-based presidential campaign was hit with an administrative fine by the Federal Election Commission following the 2016 election when the FEC found the campaign misrepresented campaign expenses by describing the opposition research that produced the discredited Steele dossier. If you guys remember that what Hillary Clinton paid for, and they wrote it off as legal expenses. Now, the Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee paid $113,000 to settle the charge, but yet they were only fined, and that's what gets me when I'm talking about two tiers of justice in this country. This is what has to be stopped. This is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony, and zapped it back to life somehow. Because the feds aren't even prosecuting this against Trump because they said there was no crime. Now, so many legal experts have criticized this, and Fat Braggs and his effort to upgrade was ordinarily a misdemeanor charge to a felony. So many of these top legal analysts are just amazed to watch this actually walk into the courts. But it just goes to show you the corruption within the Democrat Party. But when will this stop? When we vote November 5th general election. That's when it's going to stop. But the Democrats will keep up everything that they're doing, and they'll still try to get him no matter what. That's why we have to win the House back too. We have to win the House and the Senate to keep Trump in office, because if the Democrats win either one or both, he's screwed. They're going to impeach him right away. But you guys let me know what you guys think in chat about any of these topics that we go over, because this election is so important. That's why I keep harping about sharing my videos, getting the truth out to people and everything like that. The more people that hear what I have to say, or when Brendan's here, what he has to say, what we have to say, to get the truth out to people, to wake people up. That's why I keep telling you at the beginning of the stream and at the end of the stream, help us get our word out, because this is what it takes. We can't stop now. We can't back off. November's here, coming up here around the corner. And the last thing we know, it's going to be here, and we're going to have to win this election no matter what. But now we're going to get into this one. This article is from Newsmax. And the Florida document judge threatens Jack Smith with sanctions, which I love. And the Democrats hate her because she follows the law. And unlike all these idiots in Georgia and New York, the couple in New York, they're definitely making up their own laws as things go. Especially this Judge Merchant, or whatever the hell his name is. U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon admonished Special Counsel Jack Smith on Tuesday and said future failure on his part to comply with her requirements in the classified document case against Trump in Florida could result in sanctions. I wish they'd shove a gag in his mouth. Put a ball gag in there. That's what he deserves. But this piece of shit, Jack Smith, thinks he can do what he wants, say what he wants, and the judge is supposed to just sit there because these Democrats are telling him he can. But this Florida judge, she ain't having it. If they can't stand the facts that she follows the law, unlike I said about these other corrupt-ass judges, I'm going to let you watch this video here of the judge threatening Jack Smith, and it's about 1:33 seconds long. Let me find it here. There it is.
And Jake, so prosecutors from the special counsel's office at the Justice Department are not going to be able to limit Donald Trump's speech about law enforcement. who were part of that Mar-a-Lago search in August of 2022 at this time because they didn't follow the proper procedure. That's what Judge Eileen Cannon just said moments ago. The prosecutors had gone to her on Friday in the evening, right before the holiday week, asking her to put limitations on what Donald Trump could say because he was out there talking misleadingly about the FBI policies around the use of deadly force, a policy that was standard and in place for that search of the resort in Florida. But Trump was trying to say that he was in danger because of it. That was not true. So the prosecutors wanted to protect the proceedings, protect their own officers, and have a gag order. They felt that it was a very dangerous situation, so they went to the judge. Trump's team, though, took issue with this because they said they didn't have enough time to think about this and to respond and meaningfully work with the prosecutors to provide some sort of meet and confer. That's what they say in court. And so Judge Cannon today agreed with Trump's team. She said this was unprofessional and not courteous in the way that the Justice Department went about this, coming to her with the gag order request, that anything in the future, they need to have more time given to the defense team. And so she's denying they could always try again. But as of now, no gag order for Trump in the Florida case.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting at. And it's tough for me to go to CNN or CNBC, MSNBC, all these idiot liberal fake news media sites and get video. But this is what you get when you go to CNN. You get an idiot twit like that and think she can just run her mouth about the use of force deal. And I worked at the Department of Corrections, which were trained just like the police that are at the use of force. And that is not a standard procedure, especially when you're going to a former president that is guarded by Secret Service. Who are they going to shoot against? FBI going to shoot the Secret Service agents? I don't think so. So who else were they going to be going after? Who are they going to have to worry about that's at Trump's home? So these people are, if you guys believe them, you're an idiot. And I know you guys that are watching, you're not idiots I know you guys don't believe them because this is all a setup and they want to run their mouths. And I watched a couple, especially that, what do they call it? A mook De Niro. That idiot son bitch should go back to California and stay there with all those other liberal idiot actors. Oh, that state could fall off the map into the ocean, and I don't think anybody would blink an eye. But Judge Cannon also rejects the gag order for Trump, which was a great thing. Everybody's trying to gag Trump and keep him from his First Amendment rights. Now, do you see a pattern here? Every one of these Democrat piece of shits are trying to stop Trump from getting the truth out to people. And of course, Democrat-run cities with Democrat judges, they do violate his First Amendment right every time they get a chance to. Now, this is why we need to get Trump back in office. I'm trying to sit there, oh yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about Robert De Niro because he's a worthless piece of shit. Now, under the Biden regime, De Niro did say yesterday that if Trump gets back in office, we're going to lose all of our rights. No, that's what we're doing now. We're losing our right under the Biden regime, not under Trump's presidency. We keep our rights. We don't have to worry about them being taken away from us like we do right now under this Biden Democrat control. Now, if anyone, because he also said, Robert De Niro said that Trump will refuse to leave office. If anybody's going to refuse to leave office, this will be this demented Joe, because all the Democrats will have to do is say, oh, Joe, you're still president. Don't worry. Go ahead and sit back at your desk and don't worry. And he'll believe him because he's so demented, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He don't even know what day it is. That's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to cause the problem come November when Trump takes back the presidency. Sometimes I mess up myself when I'm doing these things and I'm dictating the show off when to go. And then I have to read what I wrote, and I didn't get to go over this very well. But from CNN, believe it or not, GOP lawmakers' response when pressed on conspiracy about the search on Donald Trump's home. They're talking about the claim regarding the FBI saying that the deadly force was authorized, and of course the Democrats are saying that it's a standard practice. I now just went over some of this, but that they were already in place. Well, they know that the weapons are there, the people are going to use them. It's not a past practice when you're protected by the Secret Service. And they don't have to go in with guns. They didn't do it with Biden when they went and paraded around his residence to get his illegal documents that he was not supposed to have. They didn't do it then. So why are you going to do it to Trump when he had declassification authority on all of his documents? And he did declassify all of his documents. He's the only one can't. Biden stole stuff as a senator that he wasn't even allowed to look at as a senator. He wasn't even allowed to look at it as a vice president. But nothing happens to him because why? He's a demented old fool. And no jury was going to convict him. That's why they didn't do it. Not that he didn't commit a crime, just because he's a demented old fool. And if he was a demented old fool and they're not going to charge him, he shouldn't be sitting there as president. You're right, Tammy. They will answer for these crimes one day, eventually. But I believe that's exactly what their plan is. And it was to go in there and just try to make a ruckus go on at Mar-a-Lago so they can shoot Trump. And they can say all they want. Oh, that wasn't a plan. What the hell are they going to do? They going to admit it? No, they're not going to admit it. Use of force is only justified when your life is threatened. Who's going to threaten the FBI's life when they are carrying their guns and stuff? And even then, the Secret Service isn't going to do it. They're the FBI. They share a law enforcement agency. So anything that these Democrats are saying, don't believe them, because when they blame the Republicans on something, you know they're doing it. You guarantee. All you got to do is watch and see. Sit back and watch it, everything they say. Then you can go back and research it. They are doing exactly what they're blaming us for, or they're blaming Trump for. Now they're just going to go and cover up everything that they're doing. And that's what they're good at. They're good at covering up. They've been doing it for Joe Biden since he stole the office almost 4 years ago. But let me know what you guys think in chat. Do you think that they were going to try to kill Trump in this, or do you think it was just a show of force against Trump to show him who's in charge now? Let me know what you guys think. Now, this comes from Newsmax. Now, this is what I'm thinking something's funny with this. But you guys let me know what you guys think in chat. Nikki Haley said she will vote for Trump despite the disputes during the GOP primary. Now, do you think she's looking for a place in Trump's cabinet? Leave me an answer in chat. But I do have a video I want you to hear right out of her mouth what she has to say. Take a look at this.
There is breaking news tonight in the 2024 race for president. Former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley said this.
So I will be voting for Trump. Having said that, I stand by what I said in my suspension speech. Trump would be smart to reach out to the millions of people who voted for me and continue to support me, and not assume that they're just going to be with him. And I genuinely hope he does that.
Haley has had sharp differences with her former boss and previously called Trump not qualified to lead the nation.
She got her ass stomped by Trump during these primaries, but she runs her mouth the whole time that she was running against Trump, which he dominated her in every primary election, I think, except for one. But she continues to run her mouth about him. Why would he even think about giving her a position in this administration? She is so pathetic. It's unreal. The only position I'd give her is a janitor's position in the White House, and she should clean the toilets, period. I heard they get paid pretty good money, so who knows? But that's where she would be. She would be, and I would go tear it up. I would go to Taco Bell, and I would go back there and just rip it into it, and let her get in there and clean that up. That's your job. So now we're going to get into this billionaire GOP donor, Steven Schwartzman, is going to back Trump in a vote for change. And you know how hard it is for me to watch all these fake news media stations like CNN, MSNBC, and all of them just to get some news, but it's pretty damn hard. But billionaire businessman and lifelong Republican Steven Schwartzman said Friday that he will support the candidacy of Donald Trump with a vote for change. And the change is getting this demented old fool the hell out of the White House. After years of declining to back a particular GOP presidential candidate, that move represents a decided shift for Schwartzman. He's the CEO of a private equity firm, Blackstone, who made comments critical of Trump in the wake of the 2020 election and suggested in 2022 that the Republican Party needed to seek a new generation of leaders. This is why I ask you guys to share my videos to get the truth out to people, because like this billionaire, people could actually wake up and see exactly like this billionaire has, that we need Trump back in office to get this country back on track to where it was before. And this billionaire has actually must have woke up to see the truth. And the truth is that the Democrat Party are corrupt and are ruining this country on purpose. Now, if you don't believe that's on purpose, now there's something wrong with you guys. Gotta check out some comments here. And yes, it is. There is going to be issues if they try to convict Trump. But when I was listening to Dan Bongino today on his show at 11 o'clock, he's afraid that if they do come back with a guilty verdict, and this corrupt ass judge Merchant tries to lock Trump up, the Secret Service has every legal authority to shut down a whole block in the prison. But they have to get approval from their director. And, if you've ever watched Dan Bongino, he was an ex-Secret Service agent himself. He protected Obama and Bush and, I can't remember the other. He was in for 3, I believe. But he said that this director is and will not shut down the prison. She will let them take him to jail. That could cause a big problem for Trump. Now, this is why issues like what you just said, John and Wimpkin, you're correct. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to start a real bad problem on the streets if something happens, and God forbid it does, because there is no crime here, and this is going to show the corruption like we've never seen before. And this takes it to a point. Now you have all the CNN and all these fake news media going, this is a sad time in America. Well, you guys are the ones that helped cause all this shit. So I don't want to hear from them at all. Now, I got this short video here of the billionaire Schwartzman for you guys to watch. It's only a minute 22 seconds long. Take a look at this.
Blackstone CEO and co-founder Steven Schwartzman announced on Friday his support for former President Donald Trump in the 2024 election, despite previously distancing himself from Trump. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Schwartzman cited concerns over economic, immigration, and foreign policies, saying these issues are driving him to vote for change and support Trump. He also expressed his intent to back Republican Senate candidates and other GOP candidates. Schwartzman, who briefly chaired Trump's Strategic and Policy Forum, highlighted the rise of anti-Semitism as a significant factor in his decision, criticizing President Biden for his response to recent anti-Israel protests on college campuses, worth an estimated $39 billion. Schwartzman had previously suggested the GOP should seek new leadership, stating in 2022 that the party needed to look to the future. The Trump and Biden campaigns did not respond to requests for comment. Recently, major GOP donors have increasingly supported Trump as he seeks to close the fundraising gap with Biden. In April, Trump outpaced Biden in monthly fundraising for the first time this cycle, aided by a record $50.5 million raised at a Palm Beach event hosted by billionaire John Paulson.
Now you see what this billionaire's doing, but he's actually woke up to see the truth. And he actually knows that Trump is the only one that can fix everything that Joe Biden has screwed up. Trump's actually going to have to go through, and what did Biden do? He signed 100 blank sheets of paper. If you watched him sign those executive orders day one, they were all blank. There was nothing there. He just signed them, folded them, pushed them off to the side. Wasn't like he had a big crowd or anything like that. And speaking of crowd, he was in Philadelphia today, and it was in the background, but I switched channels, and they showed it prior to him coming on stage. There was like, I'll bet you 50 people, and most of them were press, his staff, maybe a couple wandering old fools that still believe that this man's got a brain left into him. But there are not many, but you got all these idiots on here. I was watching Reuters, I think it was, or AP, waiting for the jury to come back with something. And you had all these idiot kids and stuff in there saying, the Biden's for another 4 years and all that crap. Oh my God. I can't even stand looking at them. I had to switch channels off of that too, because I'll get booted off or suspended or something, because I won't be able to hold my tongue. But now we get into the Democrat National Committee plans to nominate Joe Biden virtually before the party convention amid the Ohio State legislators' deadlock over a bill that would allow him to appear on the November ballot. Now, this is the only reason they're doing this is because they planned their convention after the deadline of being on the ballot. So that would keep Joe Biden off the ballot. Well, now they have to do it before that, so they're going to do it virtually. Now, I think this is all smoke and mirrors. I don't believe that he will be the nominee, but the Democrats don't have a choice now. And this idiot governor, he's a Republican, I believe, in Ohio. And he brought this up and told the Democrats, you better do this and get him on here because he won't be on the ballot. But they are fighting to get him on the ballot in all 50 states because of last week, Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose, and he is a Republican, warned the state Democrat Party that Biden would not be on the ballot in November election unless the party nomination date was changed to comply with the state laws in Ohio. Just another perfect example of the Democrats thinking they can do what they want, say what they want, and they can just get away with it without obeying laws. This is what the Democratic Party are. They are the party of lawlessness. We must put a stop to this come November. So we need all hands on deck. We need to get everyone out and vote for Donald Trump. Now I think I have a small video here real quick. So I think this is my last video. So take a look at this real quick. This is on this, the Democrats plan to nominate Biden. Take a look at this.
President Biden will be formally nominated as the Democratic presidential nominee before the party's official convention.
Yeah, it is a move now to allow the president's name to appear on the November ballot here in Ohio. So remember, this year's DNC, where they formally nominate Biden, is scheduled 12 days after Ohio's August 7th ballot deadline. And so today, Ohio lawmakers met in Columbus to kick off a rare special session to address this very issue. We've been telling you all about it for weeks now. On the agenda is passing a bill that bans foreign contributions into ballot initiatives and a fix to get Biden on the ballot. But just minutes before the state Senate met, the DNC announcing that President Biden will be formally nominated through a virtual roll call before Ohio's ballot deadline. So in a statement tonight, the DNC chairman writing, Joe Biden will be on the ballot in Ohio and all 50 states, and Ohio Republicans agree. But when the time has come for action, they have failed to act every time, so Democrats will land this plane on our own. It is not clear when the DNC will carry out that virtual roll call, but Governor DeWine is still urging Ohio lawmakers to pass bills addressing the issue.
Now, as Trump trial nears an end, the Bidens prep for a month of legal purgatory. This comes to us from the Newsbreak, a liberal piece of shit fake news media company. And it's like, oh, boo-hoo. I feel so bad for the Biden crime syndicate family having to be in court because their crackhead son is committing crimes. They can kiss my ass for what they're doing to Trump. And he didn't even commit any crimes. And this crackhead, Hunter Biden, he committed a lot of crimes. And the whole crime syndicate family did. Hunter Biden's heading to trial for federal charges that he had a gun when he was using narcotics, including allegations, and these are not allegations, that he submitted a form falsely state that he was not using illegal drugs when he bought the revolver back in 2018. Now, this trial goes in Delaware, of course, their home state, on June 3rd. The trial is expected to last a whole whopping week, with a very possibility of Father's Day. Not only that he faces a second trial on 9 tax charges that carry a combination max penalty of 17 years in prison. Now, that's supposed to begin on June 20th. You see how they're trying to push this stuff through real quick for him? Just weeks before the first presidential debate between Trump and this demented Joe Biden. Now, all of these charges that this crackhead faces, and if any of us had done this, we would be in jail right now waiting for a court hearing. You wouldn't be out running the street like this, but instead, this crackhead and the corrupt Biden crime syndicate family, they're running around with no problem, not being held accountable for anything. Now, I believe this crackhead's going to get off scot-free. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Do you guys think he's going to get off of this scot-free or not? Leave me some answers in chat. All right, Gary from American Rebellion is here. You guys are on Rumble or on Wimpkin. You guys got to check out his show. It's a great show. I watched a little bit of it earlier today, but sorry, Gary. I wanted to get over and watch Dan Bongino in his interview with Trump. So sorry about not getting to finish your show. But let me know what you guys think. I'll bet you that Hunter Biden gets off of this because you know that he pled guilty to these charges earlier in the year when he thought he had this sweetheart deal that he was going to do no jail time. And so he pled guilty until the judge said, oh, hell no, you're not getting this sweetheart deal. And they took it away from him. Then all of a sudden now he's innocent. He didn't do this stuff. So get the hell out of here. The man, you know, this is what the defense is supposed to do. They're supposed to fight for you, but the man already pled guilty to the charge, and they're still going to have to put this all through. They all need to be in prison. Now, this comes to this next article. Get through this real quick. What time is it? Let me see. Yeah, I got time. This comes from Axios. Joe Biden is crying because the Biden Justice Department keeps airing his family's dirty laundry. Now, to me, this is a start of them going to kick him to the curb come election time because they're not going to use him as a nominee. But who's going to replace him? If you guys think Brendan is on vacation today, he took a day off just to go up to camp. He'll be back tomorrow, I believe, Gary. But let me know what you guys think about this. Details of the turmoil in Joe Biden's crime syndicate family keeps being made public. by the president's own Justice Department. Why does it matter? Some legal experts argue that the level of personal detail in the filings ahead of Hunter Biden's criminal trials are meant to embarrass rather than prosecute and feeling sorry for them, so many people close to the president's family. What a shame. They're getting their feelings hurt because their stuff is coming out. Their corruption is coming out. And now they're crying about it. Now, the first revelation is particularly painful for the family that prefer the family matters to be guarded and can quickly exit people who break the code. Now, also, this goes for Hunter's ex-wife, Kathleen Buell, wrote in her 2022 memoir when instructing her mother not to reveal that Beau Biden was sick after 20 years with the Bidens. I knew that everything in the family was meant to stay private, she wrote. So it sounds to me that she was being threatened to keep their corruptions quiet. What do you guys think? You think they would do that? I can almost guarantee it. Now, in the court filings this week and the original indictments, the special counsel's office said that the upcoming trials would include materials from Hunter Biden's divorce from Buell, some text messages with family members, including his daughter, which we've all heard about and read about when they started releasing some of the paperwork, and pictures and videos of him cracking smoke cocaine, receipts of money spent on clothes and various women, hookers, tax documents from Linda Roberts, a woman with whom Hunter had a child with, and that he initially denied that he was the father, the same one that Joe Biden will not admit that is his granddaughter. Now, this trial is in Wilmington, Delaware, set for June 3rd, about lying about his drugs on the application, which we would be in prison if we tried that. You try to lie on one of those applications and they will get you in a heartbeat. It's not if your name's Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, no. Now, testimony from Buell, his sister-in-law, and partner Haley Biden, and potentially Roberts, according to the file. All of them are going to testify. Now, because this brings up about Joe Biden going to Haley's house, just weeks prior to them getting ready to testify in this. That would be witness intimidation, don't you think? Oh, my nose itches. Weiss also included text from Hunter Biden at the depths of his addiction around the time he's accused of purchasing a gun and claiming on the form that he was not addicted. Man, you can look at all that. He had to have all of his damn teeth replaced. He looked like a perfect crackhead. Now, one filing on May 20th included a text message from Hunter sent to Haley on November 3rd, 2018, that states, "I'm a liar and a thief and a blamer and a user, and I'm delusional and an addict, unlike beyond and above all other addicts that you know. And I have ruined every relationship I've ever cherished." Now, that come from Hunter. Now, remember, this court hearing comes after Hunter Biden has already, and I told you guys this, he's already pled guilty, knowing that he's going to get that sweetheart deal. Now, of course, he didn't do it. This just goes to show the corruption in the Biden crime family syndicate. And I can't wait to see how this comes out. What about you guys? Now, this last thing here I'm going to try to get into is just about Hunter Biden's attorneys are expected at a final hearing before his gun trial. Hunter Biden's lawyers are due in court in Wilmington, Delaware on Friday for a final hearing before the president's son is expected to stand trial on a federal gun charge at his father's re-election campaign as it unfolds. The two sides have been arguing in court documents about evidence in the case, including contents from the laptop that he allegedly dropped off at the Delaware repair shop. It's not alleged about it. He already admitted to it. He tried to sue the damn shop owner for releasing his information off the laptop. So how the hell does the owner release his information if it was not his laptop? Now, the defense attorneys question the authenticity of the laptop in court documents, but prosecutors say there's no evidence that the data on those laptop was compromised and that a drawn-out fight over the trial would be a waste of time. It would be, because it's already proven that it's his. I guess that's the job of the defense, though. They're supposed to protect the guilt of this man because we all know he's guilty, but I guarantee nothing will happen with this sumbitch. Now, this last one is just about from Just the News. It's a prosecution exhibit, gives a roadmap of Hunter Biden's trial, and this is going to be about the Biden tax evasion. They got a lot going on, but they're going to all push this through. But with this tax evasion one, that where he tried to write off hookers, strip clubs, and all kind of stuff like that, not paying the taxes on the money that he received from foreign countries, which it's not illegal to take money from foreign countries as long as you file under the Foreign Agent Act, which he did not, Joe Biden did not, and they are both, the whole Biden crime family is guilty of this. And they're trying to hide the money that they were receiving and not paying taxes on it. So why he has not been charged for not filing with the Foreign Agent Act, it's a Foreign Registration Act, Agent Act, actually, is beyond me, because that is a federal offense. Now, where you could do a lot of prison time. But this proves exactly the corruption that's going on within the Democrat Party. But they are also going to bring out some stuff about the influence peddling scheme, which could be a good thing because that could implicate Joe Biden on a roundabout way instead of the Republicans not doing anything about it. This could actually bring down Joe Biden. But by the time this goes around, Joe Biden hopefully will be out of the White House and we will have Donald Trump in there fixing stuff. Because we cannot depend on the Republican Party to do anything, because all they've been doing these past 3.5, almost 4 years that Biden's been in office is what? Holding hearings and sending out letters. So I'm so sick and tired of hearing, we're going to investigate this, we're going to investigate that, but nobody ever held accountable. And that is what I have a problem with. Yeah, Tammy, I do think so too. He will get off, and there is definitely 2 tiers of justice in this country. And this is why we need to get things stopped. Let me see where I'm going here. I'm not even going to go with this because this just shows that Joe Biden is worthless, and the man wakes up in the morning and he wonders if he even shit himself or not. So that's about all the time I got for you guys tonight. So once again, I'm going to ask you guys, please check out my Rumble page at the Country Conservative. My Wimpkin page, also at Country Conservative. Check out my videos. Share even this live stream. Please share it with people so they can get the truth out. And I haven't done these short ones for a long time because it's kind of hard to get everything together with this. It takes a long time to set this show up every day. So I haven't got any little ones out. I'm trying to put some little ones together so I can show you on the weekend, but I haven't got a chance to do that. But we got to get the liberals too. Share all these with anybody, any liberals that you know, just to piss them off. I don't care. That's fine with me. Just share them with them so they get the truth up, because November 5th general election is right around the corner. And this is what we've got to get stopped. We've got to get Trump back in office as soon as we can. Now let's wrap up the show, and I'll leave you with this. As we conclude tonight's episode, I want to leave you with a thought, a beacon of clarity during these hectic times. Our Constitution, that sacred document forged in the fires of liberty, stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of our great nation. It is not a relic of the past. It's a breathing covenant that binds us together. In the halls of power, there are those who would chip away at its foundation, who would twist its words to suit their own agendas. But we, the informed citizens must be the guardians of truth. We must hold our leaders accountable, demanding fidelity to the principles that have guided us for centuries. And so, my fellow Americans, let us remember that our economy thrives when free enterprise flourish. When innovation knows no bounds, let us honor the sanctity of life, defending the unborn and cherishing the elderly. Let us protect our borders, not out of fear, but out of love of our homeland. And as the sun sets on this episode, let us stand firm, unloading in our commitment to liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. For we are not mere spectators, we are active participants in grand theater of democracy. Let your convictions echo far and wide. So, my friends, I bid you a farewell. Until our next rendezvous, which will be tomorrow night, I hope you all have a good night. See you tomorrow night, guys.